Welcome back, focused learners, to another Explainer. Today we're totally immersing ourselves in the AI revolution of 2026. And going through the source material for this, well, one thing becomes absolutely abundantly clear. The conceptual promises of artificial intelligence, they've officially become our everyday reality. We're no longer simply chatting with large language models anymore. We are living and working alongside highly capable autonomous AI systems that are literally reshaping our world from the ground up. We've shifted from AI as just a helpful assistant to AI as a true agentic partner. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what that means for you, your work, and our collective future.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The era of agentic AI. 2. Transforming major industries. 3. Autonomous software and enterprise. 4. The Centaur workflow. 5. AI safety and ethics. And 6. Looking to the 2030s.
Section 1. The era of agentic AI, moving beyond chatbots. So to really wrap our heads around the sheer magnitude of 2026, we've got to look at the macro shift in how we actually interact with these models. What started out as simple text and image generators has evolved into these massive multimodal reasoning engines. They process text, audio, video, complex data, all of it, all at the same time. We aren't just dealing with chatbots waiting around for prompts anymore. We're interacting with goal-oriented systems that plan, reason, execute multi-step workflows, and even self-correct on the fly. I actually want to pause on this quote from our source material because it captures this paradigm shift so perfectly. Quote, "We are moving from a world where humans tell computers what to do to a world where humans tell computers what they want and AI agents collaborate with us to figure out the path." End quote. I mean, just think about that for a second. We've gone from being directors of every tiny micro-action to being visionaries who just assign complex goals. And this brilliantly illustrates that exact shift, imperative versus declarative computing. The old way, imperative computing, meant spelling out every single step. It was incredibly manual, super rigid, and honestly full of friction. But now, we live in the era of declarative computing. You basically just tell the computer the final goal you want achieved, and the AI agent figures out the rest of the puzzle. It navigates the complexities, runs the processes, and just delivers the result to you.
So, you might be wondering, how do these systems actually achieve those goals? Well, it's through standardized, open-source, multi-agent systems. Picture a highly efficient digital assembly line. Instantly, an architect agent spins up to design a project. It then talks directly to a researcher agent to gather all the necessary data, hands it off to a coder agent to build the framework, and finally, a reviewer agent double-checks everything for errors. They collaborate totally seamlessly to tackle these massive projects in just a fraction of the time it used to take.
Now, obviously, none of this happens in a vacuum, right? This relies on some major breakthroughs in hardware and media. Tools built on the foundations of models like Sora and Veo now generate hyper-realistic, physically accurate 4K video in real time. It's absolutely wild. But perhaps even more importantly, thanks to heavy optimization from giants like NVIDIA and Apple, we now have Edge AI, meaning these massive models are running locally, right on your smartphone or mixed reality headset. The results? Zero latency and incredibly high privacy. It creates this totally seamless, localized AI environment right around you.
Section 2. Transforming major industries. AI in the real world.
All right, so this isn't just theoretical tech anymore. It is happening out there in the real world right now. Advanced AI has gone from being a neat competitive advantage to an absolute necessity for survival across pretty much every sector. Let's look at healthcare and finance. Speed and personalization here are literally saving lives and democratizing incredibly complex systems. Through continued breakthroughs in protein folding by Google DeepMind, drug discovery pipelines have been slashed from years down to just months. Diagnostic AI agents are now cross-referencing your genetics, your wearable data, and global medical databases in real time to create hyper-personalized treatment plans. And over in finance, AI models are processing global events and market sentiment in milliseconds, while democratized AI wealth managers are finally giving everyday consumers access to institutional-grade financial planning.
And then there's education. The old one-size-fits-all model, it's officially dead. Today, students interact with AI tutors that offer infinite patience. Platforms like TutorPass are really leading the charge here, actively summarizing content and generating custom quizzes on the fly. These systems dynamically adjust to a student's mood, their pacing, their specific learning style, providing 24/7 custom academic support. It is a total revolution in how we absorb information. Section 3. Autonomous software and enterprise. The speed of business. Looking at the tech industry itself, the transformation is, frankly, dramatic. AI coding tools have rapidly evolved past being simple autocomplete features. They are acting as autonomous software engineers. Just look at this statistic, 400%. We've seen a massive 400% increase in developer output just by shifting how we work. Developers act way more like product managers now. They provide the logic and the architecture diagrams, and the AI just generates the entire tech stack in minutes.
The breakdown of this coding shift is super fascinating. 65% of the rote, boilerplate coding is handled entirely by AI. That leaves the remaining 35% for pure human logic, intents, and architecture. Models from Anthropic and OpenAI are just ingesting massive repositories, refactoring legacy systems, and automatically patching vulnerabilities before they can even be exploited by bad actors.
And the result of this incredible synergy? 10 times faster deployment cycles. 10 times! What used to take months now literally takes days. This level of automation scales straight up into broader business operations, creating what we call the autonomous enterprise. Specialized, narrow intelligences are continuously and seamlessly handling back-office operations in the background. We're talking dynamic supply chain routing, autonomous contract negotiations happening agent to agent, and zero-wait time customer service voice agents that are empathetic, context-aware, and honestly, completely indistinguishable from real humans. Section 4. The Centaur Workflow, Human and AI Collaboration. Okay, let's move to and see how this builds on what we just talked about. With all this automation, it's so easy to wonder, where do we fit in? But the core theme of 2026 is not replacement, it's collaboration. Enter the Centaur Workflow, the seamless partnership between human intuition and machine processing power. The really big takeaway from the source material here is this. Your value in this landscape is no longer about rote memorization or manual execution. Your value is in your critical thinking, your strategy, your emotional intelligence, and your prompt architecture skills. Basically, we are the brains, the AI is the infinite muscle. In practical terms, especially in creative and engineering fields, humans now act as the visionaries. Directors, artists, engineers, they define the boundaries and the conditions, and the AI acts as an infinite bandwidth brainstorming partner. It instantly generates millions of optimized variations, virtually guaranteeing safety, sustainability, and aesthetic beauty, all while the human chooses the final winning path. Section 5. AI Safety and Ethics. Guardrails for the Future. Of course, with exponential power comes exponential responsibility. As we zoom back out, it's vital to address how global governments and institutions are managing all of this. AI safety and alignment are currently the most heavily funded research vectors globally. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the three major regulatory pillars established worldwide map out. First up, verification systems. This requires cryptographic watermarking on generated content to combat deepfakes. Second, bias mitigation, mandating open auditing of training data so algorithmic decisions around loans, hiring, or justice remain fair and don't embed systemic bias. And third, compute governance, international treaties that actively monitor extreme-scale compute clusters to ensure the absolute most capable frontier models are developed safely. These are the crucial guardrails keeping our society stable as the tech accelerates. Section 6. Looking to the 2030s. The trajectory remains steep. All right, if you think 2026 is wild, let's walk through these awe-inspiring milestones predicted for the next few years, because the trajectory into the 2030s is about to go completely off the charts. The integration of AI into our physical and mental spaces is accelerating fast. In year 1, expect to see embodied AI, universal humanoid robots leaving factories to do physical chores in our homes, guided by spatial AI. By year 2, personal AI clouds will emerge. These are highly secure, lifelong digital memory banks and representatives. Year 3 will bring scientific discovery algorithms, where AI is out there autonomously hypothesizing and testing new materials and physics. And by years 4 and 5, early consumer neural interfaces will appear, allowing us to command AI systems with mere thought. That's right, bypassing physical typing entirely. We are moving from screens to our physical environments and eventually directly to our minds. Which brings us to our final provocative thought. The AI revolution of 2026 is, at its absolute core, a fundamental unlocking of human potential. By offloading the friction of execution, humanity is freed to strategize, to empathize, and to create. The tools to elevate your learning and work, like those personalized tutors from TutorPass or those autonomous coding agents, they are already here.
So I leave you with this question, with the only limit being your own imagination. How will you use your unlocked potential? Thanks for exploring this with me today.